Let us start out by stating that the chest wants to be here, so the harvester wants to be there. Then the planter will want to be 2 in front of it, which is there. That works much better. Item ducting out, down, down, around and into the side of the planter. So far, so good. Now we are going to need a servo or 2 on this, aren't we? So let's head on down and make some servos. I know I've left that door open, which is a very, very silly thing to do. Servos are actually part of Mine Factory Reloaded, aren't they? Maybe not. Servo, they are part of thermodynamics. Okay, so we remember how we made these. These are just some of those. Redstone, glass and iron ingot. Iron nuggets is the word I'm looking for. We'll get us 2 of those. Take these. Now the harvester does automatically eject, so I'm going to assume that it will actually auto eject even without the servo, because that's how it used to work. I'm going to pop this in here, give it a smack with a crescent hammer, and that will pop it out. Of course, I am actually here making completely the wrong thing. The thing which I need now is not called a servo, it is called a filter. Here are your filters. The filters restrict what actually go into machines. They are made very similarly, except they need paper instead of the redstone. Now, I should have a little bit of paper in one of these chests. There we go. It's in natural bits. So take some paper, some glass, some iron nuggets and some iron, and you get the filters. The filters restrict what actually go into machines. Now I don't actually need a servo because the harvester automatically ejects and the sun is going down already. So all I need to do is click that onto there and click one of those onto there. Now the only thing which I want to actually go into the planter is the thing which is being planted. And that is acacia saplings. I'm going to be growing acacia trees. I would love to be growing those saplings, the pines. But unfortunately, the harvester doesn't work on them. So that is, as they say, that. So let's just pop that in, whitelist, only saplings will go into there, everything else will go the other way, and if you'll excuse me for a sec, I'm going to take a quick nap. Okay then, good morning, and let's quickly get back to work. Now technically I didn't actually need to put a filter on that, because basically anything which isn't an acacia sapling is just going to go into there anyway, so it doesn't actually matter. Right, the next thing we need to think about is power. And obviously the best way to power it would be using that, my kinetic wind generator, or windmill as I prefer to call the thing. Now the thing is that these things won't run off EU, which is the power that produces the industrial craft power. However, there is a way to make them do it. And that is, well, there's 2 ways. You could use an electrical engine, which is sort of the more fun way, but that wastes power, which I don't have tons of just at the minute. But there is something called RedNet cable. It comes from Mine Factory Reloaded, and there is RedNet energy cable. RedNet energy cable is made from RedNet cable with gold and a block of redstone, not the cheapest. But it does the job. The RedNet cable is made from loads of plastic sheets with redstone. Now I am actually probably going to need quite a bit of this stuff. Therefore it's probably worth my while actually melting together a few more bits of rubber into rubber sheets. What I need to do then is go like that, and put some redstone down the middle. And quickly ask, what on earth did I make by that? Plastic pipe. Red net cable, useful stuff. Take your red net cable, do something approximating that with it, take 2 gold pieces, and then realise that you haven't made up a redstone block. So what I am going to do, because we definitely need more than we have here, is make up another pair of crafting stations, because really I could use crafting stations for different projects, and make up a block of redstone. I'm probably actually going to need 2, so this stuff does take up an awful lot of redstone, but it doesn't really matter. I'm going to get 12 red net energy cables. So the great thing about red net energy cable is it takes in any sort of power and it will output any sort of power as well. So I need a neat way to actually plug this in, which I certainly have not made here. So it is just going to end up going in like that, and run under the path and run under here. So we have a little bit. How far is that? Have I used one of those in there? How incredibly wasteful. Right, that's attaching itself to everything because it is RedNet, and RedNet does that. It gives these little icon things when it's attaching things. You can just click them off if you just go like that. As you can see, it doesn't really matter if it's got nothing it will really interact with though. Right, my cable should be under there. It is. So what am I going to need? I'm going to need about another... Can I get away with another 6, or do I need 12? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm going to need 7, aren't I? So I'm going to need 12. Right, we should have a load more raw plastic, which we are going to make up into a load more plastic sheeting, which we are going to make up into a load more red net cable, which we are going to make up into another pair of the energy cabling. So take those. Take those. We've got some red net cable left over, which is great. And we have some more red net cabling. I'll take that just in case I need it. Hop along up here and plug this in under the ground somewhere. It can just run along the edge of this. Now this is actually going to want to plug into that because that is an input to a bat box. So it will actually attach there and come down there. And into there. 3. Now what we should see now is that this should be getting powered. And it is not, is this? This is also not getting powered. I don't think there's an energy distance drain on these. And I'm sure they can work just connected to this. This isn't empty, is it? No, this is quite full. Thank you very much. So why is that not working? Let's just put the rotor back on. And it's now going to tell me there's no wind for the rotor. That is a bit strange. Red net energy cable is running all the way through. There's no brakes, are there? Or anything else incredibly stupid? No. Okay, so I am back and I have got with me a bat box because, of course, what these cables need to actually connect to an output on a bat box. So I have made myself up a bat box. Green dot is the output. Now if I connect these up to this, now that starts to actually fill. So you can't connect these directly to the other types of wire. Of course you can't, that would be silly. You just need to put another bat box in the middle. Which is fine, this thing just fills up with power and it acts as a bit of a buffer anyway. So let us place the harvester back atop its bit o' mud. Perfect. So now all that we need to do is reconnect you in. You will start charging up. You have instantly charged up. And we can now fill this in with a bit of dirt. Now the next thing which we are going to need is a range upgrade, because this needs an radius upgrade of 1. Because it is just not quite big enough. Or the basic size just wasn't quite big enough for me. So, radius. The radius increase, the lapis one, needs raw plastic, gold nuggets, and lots of other little bits of stupidity. Right, so I needed 3 pieces of raw plastic, didn't I? Did I just not pick those up? 3 pieces of raw plastic, didn't I? Try that again. Combined with some ingots, gold nuggets, and it was lapis, I believe. Lapis redstone. I could have used a gold ore berry, could I? That is interesting because I have gold ore berries. So I will reform that into a block of gold because I think it is more valuable like that. So 1 of those, 2 of those, 3 pieces of lapis. I'm going to need 1 for each, of course, of the harvester and the planter. So another 1 of those. I do have a decent amount of gold, to be fair. And that means I'm going to need, of course, 3 more pieces of rubber going through the furnace. So there's 3 raw plastic. Those go into here and we make our lapis upgrade, the most basic of the range upgrades. We wait for 1. You can see you can upgrade it to 11, which is really quite big. That would make a huge farm. I'm not going to make one that big. I could do, but I'm not going to. 2 lapis range upgrades which do not stack. Come out here and pop 1 into there and 1 into there. Now all that we need to do is build up the dirt layer around here, so it is going to be planting in all of this area here. But we could neaten this up a tiny bit, I guess, if we do something a bit like that. It would make it a tiny bit more pretty. Is that? No, it's going to go 1 further back. I don't know why I'm not just using that. So this will be the range on the thing. And I'm out of bricks completely. Let's just dig you out just so I don't have any grass in here, because I don't really want grass in here. Cover you all up, and anything which will get at all grassy. There we go, and this row of bricks is in completely the wrong place. Because somebody cannot count. There we go. Dig you out. I don't know if grass can actually spread up diagonally. Someone can perhaps tell me that in the comments. Pop the acacia saplings in. There go the acacia saplings all planted, and the second they grow, they will get chopped down by the harvester, and all shall be happy. Do I have any more bricks in there? I have one single brick. Do I have any stone? I have stone. So I should just say that this is going to be a temporary plantation whilst I'm building up other areas and places where it will actually go. But it will just do me for now very nicely indeed. Let's also just brick up under there just so it looks a little bit neater. That will do. Right, let's just finish off with a quick guided tour of other things which have been happening around here. I don't think much has changed in here. Perhaps it looks a bit nicer, I don't know, but most of the changes, is it getting night? Not quite. Have been in here. You can see that in here this has all been sort of filled out a bit more. We now have steps going down here and around here. I don't think, was this in last time? I can't remember. I have decided, going to scaffold up the outside of here and fill this in with stone so I can have a corridor walking on down there. If we come up here though, this is definitely new. This area has just come down, been filled in. There's a bit of room over there for something. There's windows in here so we can look out over the forest down to Leo's little house down there. And I'm thinking I might well have steps heading on down there as well. And I think that is everything that has changed, and I think that will be it for this episode, guys. Thank you ever so much for watching. I do hope that you have enjoyed, and I do hope to see you once again next time, as we have a tree taken down already, and we're starting to get acacia wood, and that is going the wrong way, because I probably need to set this on a blacklist so it doesn't come in this way. Now that might work a little bit better. I'll just leave those in there. That's blacklisted. And that one, which I can no longer get to just check it as a whitelist, is whitelisted. So that should work now. So thank you and goodbye.